Thank you very much, Jim. And yes, here we go then. It's our loser final time, Aga. Whoever wins this will book a date in the grand final tonight against Dolomic. Will it be a rematch for Optolle, or will this incredible run continue from that man on a loser bracket run of his lifetime? Me and August Rosemeyer taking you through the action here. And Aga, unbelievable games we've seen today. This man from Israel, Neissat, he keeps averaging so many goals. Was it 9 goals in the last one, 7 goals earlier today as well? What a run he is having in the loser bracket. He's 1 win away from completing an unbelievable loser bracket run. It'll be, as I said, a date in the grand final against Dolomic. Can he go the full distance? That's the question.
Yeah, he's been really impressive so far in Neissat. It doesn't seem like even if he's leading with 2 or 3 goals, he just keep pushing, and that's an ability to be able to do that all the time, instead of just, you can get this mental mindset where you're getting a bit passive and just, instead of trying to chase more goals, you just start to perhaps just try to run down the clock. But he just keeps going and try to score the goals. I'm curious to see this matchup. I feel like Tolle is a super structured player, good in defense, and he'll be tested really much now against Neissat.
Yeah, he certainly will be. As I said, 2 legs of feature in front of us. That format has not changed. That will be consistent all the way through. But whoever wins this books themselves a place in the grand final. $10,000 will be guaranteed in their back pocket, alongside some serious global series ranking points. Can that man on the left-hand side of your screen, Nom Neissat, keep his run going on from Israel? Unbelievable when he's done in the loser bracket. We have to remind yourself, beating the likes of Olilito, Benny CR7, ex-Lenin, then coming into today's tournament, a 7-1 victory and a 9-4 victory against Musti to book this matchup right now. And I think if you were someone who's sitting on the fence between the two, I think you'd look at Nom Neissat and say, you know what, he's probably the man you'd want to back, Aga, because he's on just this momentum run at the moment. He's not lost a game, and he's not been able to lose a game on the loser bracket compared to Optolle. He had a really tough game against Dolomic. He was playing against that 5-3-2 that Dolomic has set himself up for, this new meta he's created for himself. And I think, as I said, if you were someone that wasn't too sure on who to back, I think you look at Neissat just because of the run that he has had. He's on an incredible run.
Yeah, definitely. When you look at the momentum he got and just the 2 recent games for him, and you look at Tolle's loss to Dolomic, you would consider Neissat coming into this game with the biggest advantage and the best mindset. However, Tolle only lost 1 game during this cup. The same for Neissat, but Tolle still made it a bit further, while Neissat had to climb and play many games in order to get here. So I feel like there are different things that speaks for both players.
Certainly indeed. We do apologise if the game feed is a little bit choppy at the moment. As I said, all these players are in their own homes, the safety of their own homes. And so is the Global Series this season long. We'll make sure that gameplay will sort itself out as we move into the latter stages of this first leg and the second leg. Of course, if you don't know who is who, it's Nom Neissat from left to right in this one, in that typical white. And ex-Optolle, the 16-year-old potential wonder kid from Sweden, his first ever major EA Sports FIFA tournament. You have to be 16 years of age to compete in any of these competitions. His coach behind him there in Gigi Frolle. I'm sure his teammate in Zimmer will be watching from a distance, or potentially in that Gothenburg camp there. Will be about picking himself back up. It's only the first loss that he did pick up in this whole qualifier. We have to remind you, as him and Dolomic, they went unbeaten in qualifier number 2 here in Europe. And I mean, it's probably a tough time to take a loss, Aga. But looking at Dolomic, it was a real tough one, because Dolomic's just been on a different level. So it seems he's been on a different planet with his FIFA ability. But ex-Optop's just got to pick himself up. Lovely bridge touch, R9 save round the corner. And it will go for a corner in the end. How do you think ex-Optolle would have dealt with that, Aga? He's had an hour and a half to look back on that game, to think about that game. Do you reckon he would have looked back at all on the match, or just been like, you know what, back of my mind, let's just pick myself up with it for this second chance, so to speak, because this is his second chance in the loser final to potentially set up a rematch in today's grand final?
Yeah, I definitely think that the pause for him after the loss was good for him, because he could just relax and just calm down after being in the winner bracket. It's always frustrating to lose, because you know that you'll have a disadvantage going in potentially to the grand final. So the break definitely helped him. I think he could refresh and start on a new one.
Let's see what this man could do in front of goal. It is Neymar now, trying to find Cristiano Ronaldo maybe in a pocket of space. Can Neissat break the deadlock here? 30 minutes into the game. Not too much to shout about at the moment. Looking across the games that he's had, though, some incredible results today. Scoring so many goals. He's bagged 16 in total across the 2 different games he's played today. Absolutely incredible stuff from the Israeli in his first competitive event of the year. Remember, he did qualify for a FUT Champions Cup last year. He's had some experience in the Global Series. This year looking to go that one step further and book himself a spot in the Global Series playoffs. Here comes Marcus Rashford now into Ronaldo. Can he try and find R9? He's also in the box again. We'll do our best to get this game feed for you a little bit smoother. Hopefully as we move into the second half here. The most interesting part of this Neissat team, Aga, is that defensive line. It's an interesting Bundesliga backline, full of so many special items, some Champions League special items. I think there might have been a couple of foot freezers in there. It's a different backline, but to be honest, we've seen different all over today. We've seen Mike playing with different players. We're seeing Neissat using different players. It's like the cool thing to do. So it seems, play your own way and choose your own starting 11. Don't follow what everybody else is doing.
Exactly, trust in your own abilities and tactics. In the end, that's what matters for you. A lot of people, and I will say myself included, sometimes can make a, I'll not call it a mistake, but you can get a bit eager when you see other players use a different kind of players and feel like, okay, if he's using him, then he's probably the best player, instead of just listening to your own instincts. That's super important, to trust in your own judgment and abilities.
I was going to say, how hard is it as a FIFA pro not to sort of follow the crowd, so to speak, in copying the same formations, following the meta, so to speak, in what players you should play in certain areas? How difficult is that as a FIFA player? Here's R9, could be a chance, could be an early goal, it will be. That is the breakthrough in this one. Neissat finally finds the breakthrough. And that'll be another goal registered for that man. Goal number 17 he is registered in tonight's tournament. R9 with that goal, but back to that point, Aga, how difficult is it to try and, for Mike, for example, to use a Kesse and to use a Theo Hernandez, to play a 5 at the back? How difficult is that to do, or to be the first person to go out of your way and to make that change and to back yourself, in all honesty?
I think it's a question about confidence and believe in yourself. You can see it on Dull Mike's gameplay, and also in Neissat's gameplay, that they feel comfortable with these players. They don't have to follow the usual suspects, so to speak. Here we have the help time.
You can see the stats at half-time, Aga. Just one shot apiece, a very, very quiet first 45. Only a goal to separate the two. And that was from Neissat. It was R9 Ronaldo, who's been probably one of his top goal scorers today, popping up at the right time. And it was a great finish, wasn't it, Aga? A lovely little sort of intricate play between him and Cristiano Ronaldo. R9 got the pocket of space. What do we know about R9? He can go on his left, he can go on his right. That time, he found the left top corner, and it was a great finish.
Yeah, now Optolle have to be cautious here in the second half of the first leg, because we've seen what happened with Neissat in his other game. When he first get the second goal, if he gets a 2-goal lead, he don't look back.
We can't look back, in all honesty there. We'll wait to get this game underway for you as soon as we can. Only a goal separating the two players. This is, as we've already said, our loser final. You win this, you go into the grand final, you're guaranteed $10,000, even more Global Series points. And you're probably thinking, Aga, Optolle so wants that rematch against Mike. He's probably, as I said, had about an hour and a half to look back on that last game, if he wanted to look back on it, because it was a real tough one. He was up against the 5 at the back. It was difficult to break down. Mike is on, a different planet at the moment. He's playing such good FIFA. He would love to get a rematch, I can assure you, in that grand final.
Yeah, definitely. I think he got a bit overwhelmed or surprised about how Mike played, especially with the wingbacks going forward. I feel like he wasn't 100% prepared for this. Now we're back to the match again, but now he's back playing against a more like a similar style to what he's perhaps used to play against. And if he could win this match, he'll be more prepared for what's coming in the grand final. But in the first half here, or in the first leg, it seems like Neissat is not looking back.
There you go. Yeah, we got a nice clean game feed for you all now as well. As I said, do bear with us. We are working as best as we can. Everybody in their own homes, all around the. I'm sure this is the safest way to do competitive FIFA this year. And we're back underway for our second half in leg number 1. Neissat leads by a goal to nil. It was a goal just before half-time in leg number 1. R9 on the score sheet. And now Optolle needs to try and create more chances than he has, because he only registered 1 shot in that first half. I mean, both players did. The difference was it was Neissat that actually found the back of the net with his chance, and he was the more clinical of the two. Optolle just got to find that rhythm again, but it sort of felt like him in this second half, Zago. I don't know what it is. Me and Richard often talk about it when we see players do a lot better in the second leg. It sounds crazy to say, but for Optolle, it's like he has a really slow start in the first 45. His second halves are so good. You remember it against Lamike. He was, I believe, 2 goals down, came back, scored 2 goals. It's like a completely different player in the second half. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, he's been very good he was very good at adapting, at least in that second half against Dolan Mike. He needs to bring out some of that as well here. Been solid defensively. Only gave 1 chance away, which Neissat took, but now he needs to start ask questions to Neissat's defense, which also have been very, very solid right at this tournament.
Yeah, it's been an unlike usual back line. No Varane, no Mendy, no Carl Walker. None of those players have been involved. That's an awful pass coming in there. We'll go into a pause for Optolle. He's clean and happy with something, Kaga. We're going to see a couple of changes now. Rashford, is it your time up already? It is. Only a couple of minutes into the second half of this first leg. Adama Traore comes, and that's foot free to Adama Traore. Obviously comes out as a left back, going to be in his usual right wing position or right cam position on this occasion. But Marcus Rashford not cutting it.
No, I feel like you could bring in Adama Traore as in any position, basically, perhaps except for the goalkeeper. I'm not sure if that would work out. But except for that, he could play everywhere and be amazing. I think it's a good idea to use him as a super sub because he comes in with the power and the presence and the pace. So interesting choice to take Rashford out. Obviously, Traore doesn't have the 5-star skill move as Rashford do, but he offers something else, and you just need fresh legs at the end of the game anyway.
Yeah, it's all about fresh legs, adding that sort of injection of pace, and when players are starting to tire those fullbacks, hence where you're seeing some quite smart substitutions from pros as well. Normally they'll bring on a CDM late onto a game, they'll bring on a fullback just to ensure that you sort of you're countering whatever your opponent is doing. If they're bringing on a fresh new winger, or if they're bringing on just a good player that's always going to cause you a couple of problems, you've got to have a plan B to sort that one out. 15 minutes gone here. It's been a really slow game, this one, between the two of them. Only 1 goal to talk about, literally about 2 chances to talk about as well. We've got to see more attacking play from Optolle. If he can try and break down his opponent, he's going to go into R9. He's not even going to get a chance because it's Klosterman that comes out of nowhere, just bundles over R9, says, get out the way, I'm winning back the ball there for my team. And here comes Neissat again, up by a goal to nil, which we said it was R9 that's been the only goal scorer in this one. Only 1 chance created, but if you're scoring your chances that you're creating, it doesn't matter. For the Israelis, up by a goal to nil, as we said, scored so many goals today, 17 I believe in total he's been able to put away in the tournament. Well picked up there by Vieira. Him and Bruno Fernandes doing the defensive duties in that 2 CDM role in a 4-2-3-1. Now, this is where you've got to get Adama on the ball. Can he test or ask questions to Alphonso Davies? It was a really poor pass there for Vieira to pick up the ball. It's just been a slow game, Aga. It's been a real slow one between these two.
Yeah, both players trying to control the match. And it's funny when you talk about able to be good at adapting. I remember I played again against a player some years back from Iran, who I had no information about him. And back then it was the kickoff mode, not Ultimate Team, which was slightly different, but that meant that you were sitting next to each other. And every time I paused to change my formation, he instantly changed formation as well. And some point at the game, we couldn't get the game to start because he wouldn't start the game unless I picked a specific formation, so he could counter that. So it just shows a bit of the tactic aspect as well. Interesting to see if Tolle perhaps can, get something here in the end and perhaps get a 1-1.
Yeah, interesting point to Saga. I mean, it's changed, isn't it? The complexion of the tournaments, the FIFA Interactive World Cups, as they were called back in the day, where you were a champion in 2014. You were literally standing next to each other, playing on the same screen. Nowadays, as you said, we're all playing from home at the moment, or we're at LAN events on our own monitors, and yeah, it's completely changed, to say the least.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can just ask Mike about that. He's been to some tournaments where he used his strength and his tallness and his width to like get the edge when you were standing up next to each other. Nevertheless, it's 1-0 for Neissat here in the first leg, and yeah, cagey affair. I'll say not a lot of chances, and basically the only chance there was for Neissat. He ended up took it, and yeah, everything to play for in the second leg.
Yeah, he did indeed. He got that result. There will be a second leg to come up in just a second. If you're at home and you're thinking, how can I potentially link my EA and Twitch account together to pick up some of those tokens, our very own Rachel Stringer has got a video to explain all you need to do to potentially pick up some of those all-important swaps.
During the FIFA 21 Global Series, you have complete control of your viewership rewards. For the first time, you will receive guaranteed rewards for watching the best FIFA players in the world compete at the highest level. Simply link your Twitch and EA accounts, watch at least an hour of FIFA 21 Global Series competitions live on Twitch on select weekends, and you will receive one FIFA Global Series swap token per weekend. Tokens may take up to 7 days to appear in your account. These tokens are redeemable in repeatable SBCs in FIFA Ultimate Team, with some great pack rewards up for grabs. The more tokens you earn by watching on more eligible weekends, the more flexibility you will have to decide which rewards to get. Don't miss out. Link your accounts, watch the FIFA 21 Global Series, and redeem your rewards.
And there you have it. That's how you guys at home could pick up those all-important pick up some of those packs, or who knows, a couple of icons in your ultimate team. But Aga, you know, that's half-time in our game. Up by a goal to nil is Neissat. He does lead. Just touching back to that point about, you know, how things have changed so much in competitive FIFA. I remember that conversation with Mike LaBelle. He used to say he used to try and like just stand in front of his opponent with a shoulder in front of him to try and ensure he got that extra sort of control in front of the TV screen as such. And I mean, what's it like for you, Aga, as someone that's you've been there, you've been a world champion, you've been involved since the real early days of competitive FIFA. Some would say you've been. I'll put you in the Hall of Fame of competitive FIFA. Now you're sitting back and you're seeing 16-year-olds, 18-year-olds come through the scene who are dominating and doing really, really well. It's one of those, isn't it? It's like, please let me still try and compete and let me still make these tournaments. But also, it's great to see the scene growing.
Exactly, and in many ways, I'm not really surprised that we're seeing this now. That's the result of how big FIFA eSport is growing and how big it has become and is becoming. We'll get better and better players, more and more new players and talents coming into the scene, proving their worth, winning titles. So for me, it's just a result of amazing players and the growth in the scene.
Chance there for R9. I mean, I think people like yourself have to get a lot of credit as well, Aga. I know obviously you've inspired a lot of Danish players in the time. Yes, loads of Danish players have, of course, have also done that, and especially Sweden as well. Sweden have had a really incredible sort of latter FIFA 20 with Olli Lito doing really well, and Olli Bolli coming out the woodwork and doing some great performances. Of course, he did so well in qualifying #1, and the likes of Boras, and the list goes on of those people that have really inspired that next generation of competitive FIFA players to come through. The likes of Optolle now, 16 years of age, his first ever major tournament. He'll be involved in the EA Svensken, I can assure you, later on to the year. And it's just great to see new talent come through the ranks. He could be a chance for a second if Cristiano Ronaldo can get his right boot round that chance for Neissat. And he's up by a goal to nil. Oh, it's a lovely back-to-back Elastico there from R9, who dodges one but two tackles and nearly gets probably, you would have said, probably the goal of the tournament if that was to go into the back of net, Aga. Back-to-back Elasticos and nearly a shot on goal from R9.
Yeah, it was very good attacking display from Neissat and almost getting the angle, but at the end, Tolle just saved it in the last second. Very important. I feel like Tolle cannot afford to come behind with 2 goals. It will be too complicated because for now, it seems like he's been struggling a bit in his 4-2-3-1 formation, creating enough chances. It's not enough, even though I would say defense wins championships. You have to ask more questions to the defense, and perhaps he can do it now.
Maybe you can with Rashford, who didn't play too well in leg number 1. He got subbed off quite early. Back to goal. Here is Rashford. I'm not going to beat my own words. Neymar! There you go. How about that one? Marcus Rashford will be the provider, and Neymar with a brilliant finish into the back of the net. What is it about second legs? Go and get me another drink, he says. I'm ready for this second leg. I'll have another one as well while I'm at it. And Neymar sends him back into the game. It's just a weird one, Aga. Beginning the second legs, Optolle, he just seems to come out like a different player.
I gotta say now, Tolle has made 2 goals that I would consider goals of the tournament so far. His passing display with the first touch passes has been amazing. He made some similar goal against Stolen Mike, and here he just really shows an amazing overview. So yeah, great goal from Tolle, and exactly what he needed.
Yeah, brilliant start. This is what the game needed. As we said, it was a real sort of quiet first leg, and not many chances to talk about, and it was a little times. The only goal coming from R9 on the 43rd minute. What a start to this one for Optolle, as you said, Aga. A lot of praise coming from you. How he's been able to use Marcus Rashford in that ram area, then get him in and link him up with Neymar and R9 and sort of create this triangle, which he struggled to do in leg number 1. As you said, he seems like he struggled to use this 4-2-3-1 at times. It's like the CDMs have been great for him. Bruno Fernandes and Vieira have been really solid. Just seems quite slow at times for him to break out with that sort of front 4.
Yeah, exactly. But suddenly,
could be a chance. It's got to be a goal. Neymar, there you go. Straight away, he's back into the tight. The goalkeeper movement was one of those. Do you do it? Do you not? For Optolle, he went for it and he left a gaping goal for Neymar just to tap it into the back of the net. The bridge touch made that goal, Aga. The bridge touch out wide, pulled the defender out, opened up the space, and Neymar found the back of the net. 2-1, and there you go. We're back to square one again.
Yeah, and the bridge does that. Tolle perhaps panics a bit in his defense because you see that he's getting free, and then he starts to commit and give a direct pass into the box. He gives Neissat the opportunity to get that angle, and then it's a 100% goal. If you start commit too much in your box and panic, you will be punished.
He was punished on that occasion. Neissat up by 2-1. Remember, winner of this goes into the grand final in qualifying number 2 here in Europe on the Xbox. Do not forget, we are back tomorrow as well on the PlayStation. Plenty more FIFA eSports action. Yeah. Coming your way. Remember, it's only qualifying number 2. We got qualifier 3, 4 and 5. So much more to come this year in the competitive year. Building up to those all-important playoffs. When the best of the best can make that playoff run. Alphonso Davies is making it difficult. He's trying to get the ball out to Rashford or R9. Someone who's trying to make a run defensively. Neissat's been brilliant. I mean, attacking, he's been brilliant too. He scored so many goals. 18 he's registered across tonight's tournament. He's been on a loser bracket run of his lifetime. Could be a chance for Ronaldo around the corner. Well played by Varane, who that time had to be back and defended very well. Got to be careful in those areas he doesn't get pickpocketed. It was Vieira that stuck out a leg, and for a split second, James Tavernier was near enough dispossessed. Alphonso Davies has made it difficult for Rashford at times, Aga. He's literally been, on his first touch, denying anything to come down this right-hand channel.
He's been solid, and what I think about Neissat as well, that's been, like, which is an ability in FIFA, it's making it look simple when he attacks. Like the goals he scored, it's not too fancy, doesn't look really complicated, but it is super hard. It's the hardest thing in the top of FIFA eSport, to make things look simple.
I was going to say, like, at times like now, you're looking at attacks happen, Aga, and it's, you'd think quite basic, quite slow, but you've hit the nail on the head there, and you said it isn't as easy as that. It's some of the top things that you've got to have in your arsenal to be the best of the best in competitive FIFA. Half time between these two. Again, a little bit more of an exciting half. We saw 2 goals this time instead of the 1, and a couple more chances. That is the score as it looks at the moment. 2-1. Neissat leads. He's 45 minutes away from a grand final spot against Dullen Mike. And that 5-3-2 that Dullen Mike will be setting out for that grand final, I can assure you. Optolle has got to have a strong 45 here. An early goal for it. If we are all square after 19 game minutes, we will go into an extra time period. And then if we need to go on from that, we will go to a penalty shootout. We're yet to see, really, a big penalty shootout in Europe so far. However, that could all change. What has Optolle got to do here, Aga, other than score a goal? Is it time to make a change? It was Adama Traore that came on for him last time. Is it time for that substitution?
I feel like he played a pretty good first half, to be honest. He just lost his focus a bit right after he scored the goal, and yeah, we'll be a bit annoyed about that goal he conceded, but I don't think it's time now to change something too much up, because he did great things, and the game is still very, very tight. So loads of time left for Tolle to play, but it's extremely important right now that he doesn't concede one more goal, because if he gets behind with 2, it's going to be nearly impossible.
Well, this is what he doesn't want to have to come up against now. Ronaldo drops the shoulder, and Neissat with an unbelievable sort of first touch fake shot to pull away from the defender. And for Cristiano Ronaldo to sink that in the top corner. What a finish from the man that bagged himself a Team of the Year just yesterday. And I hate to say it, Aga, it's these commentators' curse that you keep alluding to. We've just got another one there. So the worst thing that could happen for Tolle is that he concedes a goal. Unfortunately, that has just happened, and now he's down by 2 goals.
Yeah, pretty unlucky to concede that one, to be honest, for Tolle. You can also see that he's not happy with that. But you can't let it frustrate you now. You have to just refocus and forget it. There's still loads of time, and it's better that he at least conceded the goal now instead of like 20 in-game minutes later on in this match. But obviously things are looking complicated for him now. You can also see the importance of having someone behind you now with Optolle, who's sitting behind Tolle, and just punch him, give him a little punch on the shoulder and say, hey, it's not over yet, keep working.
Yeah, he's sort of been the water boy as well as Optolle. I know he's been the team manager there at Gothenburg EA SPORTS, looking after, of course, Tolle and Zimmer. Issue in the competitive scene, a guy that knows this game inside and out. And we'll be looking to offer as much support as he can. The worst thing here, just do not concede again. I mean, a 2-goal cushion is hard enough to overturn, let alone 3 goals. A pause has come in from Tolle now. Are we going to see an attacking change? He went into a 4-2-4 against Dullen. I know we're from that sort of situation. Could be a chance now. Is there a cutback into Cristiano Ronaldo? And that's a huge goal for Tolle there. That just brings this game completely back in the hunt. He's only a goal behind now. Time to jump into a pause. Does he change? Does that affect what he changes? A big goal there. You see a big puff of the cheeks. He knows what a big goal that is. Lovely cut back inside. Cristiano Ronaldo with the all-important finish there, Aga. Perfect way to respond with about 13 game minutes left here for Tolle.
Again, it looks simple, but it's definitely not. I like to just make the small ball roll and then the lofted pass in order to make sure that Neissat is not going to be able to intercept this pass he's making into the box. So it's the small details once again. With the little ball roll and then the lofted pass, then he actually scored a goal that way. He buys himself the space and time to slot it in with Ronaldo, and yeah, he's definitely back now. I think perhaps we'll see Adama Traore come in at some point in the game. Not sure if it happened now, but he will definitely be looking for some fresh legs soon.
Yeah, of course, these pro players will have a number of different game plans that they'll swap in between throughout the games. It was a 4-4-2, second variation there. So your 2 CDM, or your 2 centre midfielders, I should say, just sort of sit a little bit slightly deeper there. Will be Traore that comes on for Tolle. On the other side, it will be James Tavernier for Rashford. And, oh, wow, 2 defensive changes there from Neissat. Kleber comes on. And so does James Tavernier. Don't get me wrong, both those players, I mean, especially James Tavernier, could probably do a job for you in a CDM role there. But are we seeing a different sort of game plan from Neissat? Is he going to try and sit off and see this game out? Neymar into R9. He's just trying to tease with the back line there. Adama Traore is now in a central midfield position for Optolle. As you said, Agger, he can pretty much play anywhere.
Yeah, he can, and I like the sub with Kleiber as well. I'm not sure if as a winger, sorry, I just went quiet there. I was just holding my breath if that through ball was going through. I'm not sure Kleiber on the wing, but what I do know, which Ryan also can confirm, that Kleiber as a centre back is one of my worst nightmares. But he's on the wing, I think.
I think he's in at fullback. I could be wrong, but I think he's in at fullback.
All right. I thought I just saw he swapped him with Neymar, so I thought like, okay, is he going to play Kleiber and Tavernier on the wings? Because then it's a very, very defensive approach he's going to take for the last 20 in-game minutes. Nevertheless, Tolle will start to chase pretty soon because time is running out.
Yeah, I think it's Tavernier that drops into a midfield position. Yeah, he's in at centre back. There you go. Your nightmare might be alive, Agger, though. I think he's in at right centre back or in at right back, one of the two. Kleiber from Ajax. It will be James Tavernier that goes into a CDM position to freshen up that midfield. However, he's 16 minutes away. One more goal would certainly solidify that. A place in the grand final up for grabs. The run of a lifetime, in all honesty, too, in this loser bracket. Now, it looks like a 5 at the back. That's what it is. It's a 5-3-2 that the Neissat's gone into. And that's how he wants to see out this game.
Yeah, and that is a formation he knows about Tolle now. He should know about it after his game against Dolan Mike. So he knows the ingredients is to open up this defense. Yeah, with 12 minutes left now, could be a chance.
He only needs a goal. He only needs a goal, Agger. That's all he needs. Adama Traore, it's got to be better from you in those sort of areas. It's a 5-yard pass. He's sort of miskicking the ball and kicking the air. All he needs is a goal. And we could be into extra time. That could be the ball into Cristiano Ronaldo! And that's the response that the Swede has been looking for. Forget 5 at the back, Agger. He's back into this tie. And he's 10 minutes away from sending this into an extra 30 in-game minutes. What a turnaround by the Swede.
And that is mentality, high class. And again, the goal looks pretty simple, but it's not. It's timed perfectly, this through ball, so you can get through, and then he just have ice in his veins and take the right decision in front of goal. And it's 3-3. We're in for a 3 now.
We have to give credit on top of that as well to Optolle. He's gone for a 4-4-2, second variation. He's put Adama Traore in centre mid, and you know what? He's just gone, you know what? I'll do a job in there for you in centre mid, and he has done a job. Change coming in now. It's a chance to freshen up potentially a full-back area. I don't know where he's going to play Alphonso Davies. Is he going to go into the midfield? I think he potentially... What was he going to be on the left wing? Actually, might be on the left wing, Alphonso Davies. Another pause comes in this time. It really does sort of puzzle me at times, Agger, with all these pauses. The pauses are so sort of mismatched. You know, you'd think you'd made your change about 20 seconds ago. What goes through a pro's mind in these sort of scenarios about these pauses that come with a couple of minutes left? What are you looking to do? Just to see out to extra time? You're looking for a really attacking change? What are you sort of looking for in these sort of moments?
Well, it's definitely getting very intense, and right now we're going to see Tolle probably take the last attack of the game unless he finds a solution quicker. Could be.
This could be an unbelievable end to this game. Could be another chance. Tolle in acres of space. Oh no, why has he dropped the shoulder there? He went for the step overs and for a split second. What an opportunity that was for Optolle to snatch this game in the dying moments. To set up a rematch in that grand final. A minute of additional time here. It will be Neissat that will get the last attack. We've played the minute. Win the ball back. We're going to extra time. We're going to extra time, Agger. Strap yourselves in. We've got 30 more minutes of it to come in front of us. What a second leg this has been from a really sort of quiet and stale first leg. This second leg has gave us everything, and we're not done yet, Agger. 30 more minutes of extra time to try and find out who will be booking a date in that grand final against Dylan Mike.
Wow. What a chance he had in the end with R9. He should... I would have gone for the shot there. I mean, that was really, really a great opportunity. And you got to just look for the momentum and the margins here. It's in the end of the match. Don't overplay it there. Just take the shot at the near post there. You have R9 in the perfect position. But nevertheless, I feel like the way the game has evolved is definitely up for Tolle now to get the win. He seems strongest so far, and yeah, Neissat needs to find his offensive repertoire back again if he wants to win this match.
We have to remind you that it was 3-1 to Neissat at one point in that game. What a turnaround, and just a change of attitude there from Optolle to say, you know what, I am still in this game. I made a couple of simple changes, a change of formation out of the 4-2-3, went into a 4-4-2. Adama came on as a box-to-box midfielder. He did a great job, but that chance from R9, you hope it doesn't come back to haunt him. Here comes Neissat. He's had a really quiet last 30. Can he turn around now? Lovely turn. R9 did so well. Back to the player. A scoop turn away. And you can see the outpour of emotion from the Israeli. A huge goal for him to put himself back in front in extra time.
Yeah, and we see the scoop turn, which just kind of gives him the perfect angle. And he shoots, and it's a goal going with the near post. And it doesn't really matter when it's R9. And that's also why I was wondering why Tolle didn't shoot on that last-minute chance. It could come down and hunt him now, but still have loads of time. But very important for Neissat to just get that confidence back and momentum feeling.
I think the key part about that chance was Aggo went into the feet of R9. He had his back to the player. If you're defending that, you're not pressing a button, in all honesty. You don't want to risk the penalty, and it's just you've got your back to R9. You can't win the ball. You can't really get the ball around him unless you want to take the risk of diving in, as I've said. High risk, could give away a penalty. Fantastic scoop turn from R9. And that's what R9's all about. It doesn't matter. He can go on his left, he can go on his right. When you're in those situations, when you're back to the defender, it's a guessing game. It's a complete guessing game. You don't know what's happening. You don't know which way he's going to turn. Fantastic turn, and an even better finish there from Neissat. He's up by 4-3. Last chance of the half. Another goal would put him in an unbelievable position with 15 minutes left. A lovely bridge touch. Back to R9. R9 again. Wowee! Neissat. Take a bow, my friend. You can deadpan right down the camera because you deserve it with that finish. Left the keeper, stood to the spot, rooted to the spot. And that there, Agate, could be a grand final spot guaranteed with that goal.
That was an incredible goal as well from Neissat. It's just the pre-work in order to get into this position was amazing from Neissat. He's playing a bit unorthodox with, in terms of when he is in the box, not always doing the meta things, and then use the heel to heel to just get out to the perfect angle. But I really like this build-up play outside the box from Neissat in order to get into the position where you score goals. And 5-3 now. Tolle just have to risk everything now in order to try to even get it to pens.
Yeah, it's one of those. I mean, as soon as that ball went into our line of the box, it is so sort of scary to play against. That man can get the ball anywhere, and 9 times out of 10 can find the back of the net from all different angles. What a finish there from Arnold. That's why you pay the big bucks for it. Can we see an unbelievable turnaround again from Optolle? Really big tackle there. Zakaria, really, really good tackle there to ensure that there's no way through. 10 in-game minutes left. At the moment, we're about to see the completion of one of the best loser bracket runs we've seen in Europe so far. Neissat has gone through the loser bracket all the way from the likes of Olilito beating him, Benny CR7, ex-Lenny, 7-1 today against Bundled Colin, 9-4 against Musti from Germany. And at the moment, he looks like he's about 8 in-game minutes away from knocking another name out in that loser bracket run. And it will just fall down to Dolomite now. It'll be, can Dolomite take him down with his 5-3-2 and the way that he likes to play his FIFA in a grand final? It's certainly going to be a good one.
Indeed it is. It's going to be very interesting because it's two players who probably feel unbeatable. Probably. Both of them just really smashing their games and winning their games convincingly, kind of, even though I know this match has been pretty close and Tolle had the chance to perhaps win it. Still feel like Neissat's confidence has been very, very strong, and we can see it in his attacking gameplay as well. And this have to go to Tolle if he wants to still have a chance of winning. I think it's GG now.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Optolle, he came into today's tournament unbeaten. Let's not forget that. Came up strap against Dolomic, an experienced player. You know, ex-Optolle, his career is just starting. He's 16 years of age. He will be involved, I can assure you, in many more tournaments this year, including the EA SPORTS. And he will be on his way to the playoffs as well with the performances he's already put in. He came into the tournament today in a fantastic position already. I mean, this guy came into today's tournament 24th. He's got more points that he will be added on. And that's pretty much job done for that man. He has booked himself a spot in the grand final. Neissat has been on an unbelievable loser bracket run, and he's not done yet. He will set up a tie in the grand final tonight against Dolomic. The winner takes home that trophy and $15,000, Aga. The question is, who's it going to go to? Right now, it's so difficult to call. It's so difficult to understand which way this game's going to go.
Yeah, it's very hard because, as I said, both players are playing on a super high level and have a major amount of confidence. However, it must be Dolomic who is the favorite still for this matchup. He has an advantage. He haven't lost a game yet, but it's going to be a really, really exciting match. And it's hard to separate these two players because their confidence and abilities today have been superior.
Yeah, they've been absolutely incredible. You know, we are looking at the best here in Europe on the Xbox. It's commiserations to the Swede of Optolle, and it's a congratulations to Neissat, who books a spot in the grand final.